I want to thank you all for being here and for inviting me to speak and for raising the issue of children. We lost lots of children since the revolution started, and my point was to start talking about the Assad's regime history with children abuses. But our fellow started and he talked about Assad the father and the crimes he committed against children in Tadmor prison and other prisons. In 2005, I was in front of the State Security Court, the court that abolished recently after the revolution started. I was trying to maintain a permit to visit my father, where I met a guy, young man. He was trying to get a permit to visit his brother. His brother was 13 years old. His name Mohammad Al Hariri, and guess what? He was from Dar'a as well. Mus'ab came from Saudi Arabia with his family, with no crime, with no fault, with nothing. The father was wanted by the government in the 80s, and they did not get him. When the family got back to Syria, they arrested the kid, and they selected the youngest one, 13 years old kid. Mus'ab spent 3 years in Sidnaya military prison with no visits. And at the end, he got death penalty of the charge of being a Muslim Brotherhood member. But because he was a minor, the death penalty was reduced to 6 years in prison. But after the noise that Amnesty International mainly did about this case precisely, we managed to have Mus'ab released in Amnesty Presidential along with other prisoners. And he spent only 3 years in prison instead of the 6 years, which was an achievement in that time. We have to be clear at this. It's unacceptable for anyone to kill his people. And that's the point we're trying to make. For Syrians, for the international community, we're learning from our fellows, Egyptians, Tunisians, Yemenis, and Libyans. But it's the first revolution in the area where the government targets kids and children in this way. So far, we have lost 107 children. 107 children killed in Syria. Some of them killed under torture. Case of Hamza Khatib is very famous. And the case of Hamza Khatib became famous because there's some great activists worked hard in this case, documented the case, translated the video, and spread it all over the media. The media focused on it, and the result was having 3 foreign ministers talking about Hamza Khatib, Hillary Clinton, Alain Juppé, and the Australian Prime Minister, Foreign Minister as well. We have 107 children get killed, but so far we have 4 or 5 names only that's well known. Tamer al-Shar'i, Hajar, and Talha recently, where Department of State in the United States here issued a statement about him. Let this meeting not end up by the song and by the good willing, which is a great thing, but we can go further than that by working in those cases. And let's target someone who claimed for a long time that she cares for children and she's working for children and women's rights, the Syrian First Lady. She worked in this, and she built a reputation about working for children and women's rights. Currently, we can work in those 107 cases, document them, make albums of them, pictures like this, like that one, Hamza. And Hamza before got killed and tortured in this brutal way. It's a great example. Along, yes, like this one. The angel in the right, and the victim in the left, and put them in English, and have them in one album. Thank you, man. Have them in an album, and let's spread them all around the world, in English, in French, in Turkish, in different languages. And let's target the First Lady in this, the Syrian First Lady. She claimed for a long time she's working on this, and that's why we need Amnesty help in this as well, to target her in their statements and ask her to stand for her words, working for children and for women's rights in Syria. In 2004, I witnessed the protest that the Kurds did in front of the UNICEF, the Kurds children in Syria. And they were beaten up brutally and took to prison and jailed for 2 to 3 years. for protesting. The regime has a long history in abuses. Minors, children, adults, they don't care. But this time our message is everyone is accountable, and this crime is not going for free. You're going to pay for your crime. And the easy payment is to damage the reputation that the First Lady did, and to link this crime to her husband, to her family, to the ruling family. We have the famous case of Tal al-Melouhi and Ayat Ahmed. They're both women who got arrested. Ayat got released after 3 months, after she got a mental issue, after torture. But Tal is still spending 5 years sentence in prison. We can do posters along with the First Lady's picture and the children pictures together, with 2 or 3 lines telling that she's working for children's rights and her husband doing this with the children. And let's work in this in English, because her father doing a campaign, PR campaign, a huge PR campaign for her in England, in London mainly. We can damage this family and just have children like Hamza did not pay their life for free or for nothing. Let's get something out of the children, the brave children who sacrificed their life for our freedom. I think